Hello everyone. In this video we're going to look at a problem involving radicals which we're trying to simplify, and there are no radicals in the denominator we need to worry about rationalizing. So with this, what we're going to do is we're going to basically simplify that term and then see if that results in some possible factoring and then any possible cross cancellation. So that's where we're headed. So we're going to go ahead and leave the 14y alone, and we can go ahead and break up the square root of 50y cubed into two radicals. In one we put the perfect square factor of 50y cubed, and in the other we'll put whatever the non-perfect square is, and of course here we'll put the largest perfect square factor. Now if you look at 50y cubed in detail, let's take a look at 50. We know that its prime factorization is going to start with 2, which gives us 25 when we divide, and then 5, divide to get 5, and finally another 5 will give us 1. So here we have the prime factorization of 50. We notice that there is a perfect square hidden inside 50, so we're going to go ahead and put that in the perfect square radical, and there's a 2 left over, so we're going to go ahead and put that in the next radical. As far as the y cubed goes, notice you can actually do a similar thing with y cubed. So y squared, y 1. So you can even do the prime factorization of an expression like that. We usually don't need to, but to really understand it, you can see there's a perfect square inside y cubed as well, right? So we can put the perfect square part of y, factor of y cubed in there, and then we have y left for the next radical. All right, so do verify that if you multiply those two radicands, you should get this. And notice that's 25 times 2 is 50. Y squared times y is y cubed. So we've just taken that and using this rule that the square root of x, y equals square root of x times square root of y, which is called the product rule for radicals. Usually you see it from this direction toward this direction, but of course, anytime you learn a rule in mathematics, you should learn it in a bidirectional manner from right to left and from left to right, because we'll use them in different ways depending on the situation. So we just applied that rule, and then down below we have 7y. So now we have 14y plus, of course, the square root of 5 squared, the number you have to square to get 5 squared is 5, and the square root of y squared is just y. So we get 5y square root of 2y over 7y. Now, we do notice that after doing that, we end up with a common factor of y on the top, and that's it basically. So we go ahead and factor out the y, and that leaves us 14 plus 5 radical 2y, and down below we have 7y. So now we notice that we can legally and safely cancel out those y's. So for our final answer, we're going to write 14 plus 5 radical 2y over 7. And that's how we will leave the final answer. So that should do it for this video. Take care and be safe until our next meeting.